evil Minnie Castevet in the cult Rosemary's Baby. All these depictions were reductive and cartoonish in their different ways, but I'd still find myself rooting for these women. I loved their sense of self-possession, their knowledge, their power. They looked like they were having a lot more fun than the heroes and heroines who eventually defeated them. I'd hoover up folk tales from the Welsh Mabinogion with its tales of shimmering fairy princess Rhiannon, to the Irish mythological cycles with a screaming warrior Morrigan. I'd spot seductively fascinating women in classical literature, the witches and sages, Circe, Hecate, Cassandra, and the bounding, athletic Artemis. I also devoured characters from further afield. The whirlwind fury of Kali from Hindu tales, Anath from Semitic stories, and the raging Pele from Hawaii. These are women who go beyond long-haired, smiling stereotypes, whose stories are so powerful, so entrancing, that they have survived for millennia. To a 10-year-old me, whose only female superhero was Wonder Woman, these mythological creatures resonated hard. They fought, took revenge, were wild, and some of them were even worshipped for it. And it's their quirks, their power, their fallibility that makes them fascinatingly relevant to women today. Warriors, witches, women, retells and reframes the incredible stories of some of these women. For space limitations, I've chosen to focus on 50 global entities, based purely on those whose stories resonate most deeply and reflect multiple experiences, from the mighty to the mundane. These are the mythological beings who have skills and character traits we can all aspire to, who are positive and strong, and who, despite having a few millennia behind them, still feel modern and fresh. I've tried to tell the stories behind the blockbuster reworkings, to find the true origin tales, and uncover how, and most importantly, why, they have been retold again and again. To have these incredible creatures gathered together in one place is like a dream party, one where you might laugh with Freya in her finery, snaffle crisps from the buffet with Futakuchi Onna, lift up your skirts and dance with Ame no Uzume, and finish your night skinny dipping with a selkie. I've grouped the stories into sections. First, we find the witches, wise women, soothsayers, and healers. These are empowered women, many of whom deviated from the norm and were cast as evil. Here we find Hecate, Baba Yaga, and the icy Bechta, making corporeal the fears of men, suspicious of knowledgeable women who might threaten the gender status quo. Next come the warriors, fighters, strategists, and bringers of justice. Women who don't just crush enemies, but battle expectations. Women like Yenenga, who are not just men's equals on the battlefield, but they're betters. But they are not one-trick ponies. They are nuanced, fallible. In Bringers of Misfortune, the focus is on the destructors, the havoc-wreakers, and the harbingers of doom. These are the vengeful, the foreboding, the malignant women, the harpies and Medusa among them, whose names are being reclaimed. They may be monsters, but they are our monsters. Elemental Spirits hails the wild women, the lightning bolt throwers, commanders of the planet, and those at one with the elements. The Selkies, the Rainbow Serpent, and Mari. These are the women who run free, cutting loose from the expectations and raised eyebrows of society. They lead the charge when our existence as a species is so horrifically under threat. And finally, there are the munificent spirits, the women it's easy to love, the bountiful deities, generous spirits, and domestic goddesses. Maman Brigitte, the Morai, Bonadea. These are the women who put all others before themselves. Yet all have a darker side, those fragments of reality we can identify with, which reflect back aspects of our humanity, and more specifically, female humanity. There are many versions of each